Y'all, welcome to my Quirky Quarter Acre 2019 garden review. We moved in December 2018. The cats were happy, and I was ready to get to work. But it was cold and rainy, so I did a little knitting while I was waiting. Shortly after I planted my sunflowers, this guy showed up, and I lost about 19 out of 2 dozen. I planted wheatgrass for the cats. It did well in the sunny window and the cats loved it. The peppers grew well. The squash vines grew really well, but they didn't have a lot of fruit, so that was disappointing. But next year will be even better because I have a plan. I expanded the garden after realizing I didn't have enough space. I planted this heartnut tree, which I hope will grow even more next year. And the squash that I did get were delicious. Squash are my favorite vegetable. The gourds did well. I have a few of those to play around with craft-wise. And my grandmother's old bread cabinet, which I've had for a long time, got a spiffy new look. Mama Wolf Spider came by and hung out for a while. She was really fascinating. She had thousands of babies on her back. I was always happy to see the bees visit. They just do their work, those big yellow flowers, and we love it. And it produced a lot of nice fruit. These are cannonball gourds. Cannonball gourds and snake gourds. This is a swamp rose. I'm going to try that one again. The herb garden is getting established nicely. This is my compost pile, which I started back this summer. These are the late planted squash and corn, which don't seem to be doing that great, but they did finally get some rain last night. There is a loofah in here somewhere. Here's my friend the bee, working very hard. Actually, this is the first garden that I've had in 15 years, so there's a lot of trial and error going on here. Here's some chili peppers. Chili peppers. I don't eat peppers, but improve this soil back here because not much grew. It was very, very poor, very sandy soil back here. Okay, and we have a few tomatoes left on the vine, not a great many. These are my new raised beds. This is one of my turnips. It is my pride and joy, the kohlrabi, which is doing the best out of anything else besides the gourds. The okra has come on nicely. There's one I can pick. There's one I can pick. There's another one I can pick. I've invested in a dehydrator and I'm pretty excited about that idea because then I can put them in soup. I've added some compost here. My litter bucket, my bags of dirt that I have yet to use. It's Thursday, October 10th, 2019. We're starting this morning with a look at the catnip, which is looking good. The mint, which is also doing well. Sinking well. And doing its thing. I know there are lots of good earthworms in there. Here we have the new addition. These are raspberry canes, which we found at half off on the rack at the hardware store the other day. Cabbage worms. I don't see any on here at the moment. However, I have sprayed this with neem oil a couple of times. So I expect that the pepper plants will be going away pretty soon. I considered digging one up and putting it in the house, but I don't know if I'll do that yet or not. The gourds still going wild over here. Loofah, which is a nice size. Out the cardboard, put down some fertilizer my father gave me. The tomato plants, which are dying back, but they won't last much longer. These are the Romas. You can see how small and disappointing they've been. These are the late planted squash and the late planted corn, which as you can see aren't doing much at all. Disappointing, but worth it to experiment and find out. Corn flies doing their thing. We haven't had a frost yet. It's windy today. We're supposed to get rain, which would be nice. We went quite a while without rain before. And they are no good, so they will go into the compost. This is the area where I'm planning to put the carport frame next year for the gourds to grow on. One starting to get ripe here, even though it's kind of small. But there's lots of little sprouts there. These are actually green onions that we got at the grocery store. French breakfast radishes. There we see the little okra pods starting to come out. I planted these in June. 5 cannonballs, several snake gourds. Better view of the birdhouse gourd, which is really funny because I didn't plant birdhouse gourds, but that one grew. The zucchini, this was a late planting also. Here is a row of radishes. Given all of the seeds that I planted, and the ones that grew and didn't grow were the ones that didn't grow were the rainbow carrots, the rainbow beets, the rainbow radishes. So I'm done with rainbows. I'm not, and it's really strange. I do love radishes. I'm not sure what's what at this point, honestly. Radishes, more radishes. Those are the French breakfast, and they're pretty tasty. Sure that we're getting a lot of wind. The rain is supposed to come in today, and that will actually be nice because it'll be a good day to bake a bread recipe that I'm wanting to try out. These are some of the gourds that I harvested. I'm looking forward to doing something with those once they're all cured and ready to go. We had a big storm and this tree became mulch. Luckily it didn't fall on anyone's house and everybody was okay, well except for the tree. It's November 10th, 2019, and my garden space is so bare, but next year is going to be bigger and better. I have pulled weeds, dug weeds, applied fertilizer, and turned the soil over. And there are a couple of bags of soil waiting to go into the raised beds eventually. And things growing in the raised beds. Where you see all that mulch is my elephant garlic, which I'm pretty excited about. There's my really long shadow in the afternoon in the winter. And I still have radishes, turnips, onions growing over there and over there. So not a whole lot happening, but I can dream of the spring. This is Miss Tiffany, our pretty princess. She's only a little bit spoiled rotten. This lemon tree sprouted in my dad's compost pile. Lemon in the tea. Once we figured out what it was, I brought it home, and it's growing well. Stiver's harvest celebration was a lot of fun. Great people, great food, got some good seeds out of the deal too. It was a really, really great day. It's December 29th, 2019, so the year is almost over. We're looking at my gourds that I grew this year that I need to let finish curing and drying out and then processing. Over here are some cat litter buckets I've been collecting over the past few months, and there's going to be a project involved with those. It's raining like mad. There it is in all its goopy glory. It's kind of ridiculous right now, but it is winter and nothing is happening over here. I'm going to check my new rain gauge that I got for Christmas. And we have gotten a good about 3/4 of an inch just since yesterday. Only got my row covers on, and you can see the garlic is just going great guns. It's been so warm, it's been unseasonably warm, and they are growing like crazy. I'm going to reconfigure these, and I've got some tent pegs I'm going to use to fix them up. We're going to see what's going on under here, because that's a nice green right there. Not quite big enough. That's a radish. It's not quite big enough to pull just yet. So we're going to tuck them back under the cover for now. Over here is more garlic. The other is the elephant garlic. This garlic is actually garlic that I bought at the grocery store and just planted to see what would happen, and it's growing. There's more under here, which is doing quite well, as you can see. Let's see what else is under here. This is kind of a jackpot bed right now, because I planted things and nothing grew, so I replanted, and I have no idea what's what. Oh, here's a radish. Not bad for the end of December. That one's not quite ready yet. So we'll tuck these guys back in too. And over there you can probably see some of the green underneath there poking out too, but it has started to really pour down rain, so I am going back inside. This is BB. We'll tell her story at some point. I've learned a lot this year, and I'm looking forward to next year. See y'all then. Happy gardening!